Is it an abstract chess piece?
Is it a spatula? Fork? What do you say? You know, it might be a fork, but what about a spork? Maybe it's you know, like a cat paw.
I can see that.
Go K-State.
We've all seen the giant sculpture outside of King's Hall. Many of us, when we see it for the first time, an eyebrow is raised and we wonder why there's a giant fork sticking out of the ground, thus creating the name, The Fork. Even though when the piece was built in 1969, the artist James Wince left the sculpture untitled to allow it to be open for interpretation. Ever since the piece was built, there have always been people defacing the sculpture, stabbing forks in the ground around the sculpture, putting a cardboard cake beside it, and even more extreme, spray painting the sculpture itself.
I feel like something better could maybe be there on the corner of a street intersection. But I mean, it is interesting. I don't know. I think something else could be there.
I did notice it the first 6 months I was here. I definitely, it does kind of stick out in the space, and I thought of kind of 1960s public art. I didn't really know why it was there, what it was, but it really did have a characteristic of public art that you see that came out of that time, kind of abstract public art. And you see a lot of that around the campus here at K-State.
All right, so community art, like try to use the environment. We're trying to think of how we can get ourselves out there. Thinking of art and the community, we thought of public art, and there's actually a bunch of that on campus. So kind of just looked right outside Willard Hall and found this giant fork thing. And so, I mean, we can do a lot with that. So we decided to bring some more attention to it.
We just decided that not a lot of people see public art. It's there, but it's unnoticed.
So we kind of started to play with that idea. Why not hand out cake?
I thought of a spork, but it gets deeper than just a spork. So it's like this in between. So you're like in the middle of the crossroads of your life. As you're about to approach a crossroad that sort of resembles a spork.
So it started with just handing out cake by the fork, and that was the main structure that we chose. It was the most common one. Public art. That's what we saw. But then we got to thinking, there's so much more on campus.
We could take this even further. We could take this to the next step.
The next level. So, took our little walk around campus, found everything we could, picked out some more. It's actually a lot more than I thought.
Yeah,
but
so a few new ones.
This is pretty educational to me, I guess.
Yeah, and then we basically, decided to make this map that we're going to hand out at our event. And, some people might not be into that. They might not want to take the walk, but for those who are,
it's there.
Yeah,
it's there. Little footstep, little points you can go visit, and kind of the name that we kind of chose for each one, just to resemble what we thought it was.
And even if we just get one person that steps out and checks out all the new ones, I mean, that's making a difference, right?
It's engaging the community even more.
It went way better than I expected it to, honestly, because I was a little nervous at first that maybe some people weren't going to get it and they were going to just be thinking that they were some weird art kids out there.
Actually, no one really knew what we were kind of doing, and then once we explained it, they're like, oh, okay, I get it. And just introducing them to what else is on campus and showing them all the art that is untouched, unlooked at. Giving people something to look at as they're walking to class. I mean, normally you wouldn't think about stuff like that, but now we've triggered stuff in people's minds.